with clever meme, with funny tweet, I'll never leave my office seat. Those who think they know what's right, listen on Sundays to NetHeads, all right?
You've got to throw some cold water on this situation. Start talking about nerd stuff.
You know, nerd culture is mainstream now. So when you use the word nerd derogatorily, it means you're the one that's out of the zeitgeist.
System activate.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. It's a tech podcast. But we are a ton cooler than your typical geek, giving you the info you need to achieve mega nerd status. NetHeads.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will and Trent.
That's right, folks. Another edition of NetHeads. My name is Will.
I'm Trent.
How the hell you doing, Trent?
Not bad, yourself?
I'm okay, except suddenly for some reason I'm not hearing anything because we're a tech podcast, so we can't get any technology to work at all.
Of course not.
Nope. Why would we? Excuse me. If you want to take part in the program, you can. One of many ways. One of them is a little thing we like to call Skype, huh?
Yes, Skype.
Real easy. NetHeads on air via Skype. You can also use 925 YakBet 9020 or 866-610-9455. Main way people like to take part in the program, though, is a little program they call Twitter.
Use hashtag NetHeads. That simple, that easy.
There you go. So I guess I should probably load up Skype, shouldn't I? If I want to. Well, I'm just saying, which is ironic, actually. It's not ironic. Maybe it is ironic because moments earlier, I was just pondering how frustrating it is trying to quit out of Skype. You know, you're like, hey, you know what? I just want to get out of Skype. I'm just going to quit out of Skype. And then you go to do it, and Skype says, no, we're just going to keep running.
No,
Don't worry about that.
You just close it out of your system tray, and that's it.
No. Yes, from the system tray.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But why do we have to go to this level, Trent?
Well, why do you close anything that's not in the system tray?
Why does Skype insist on continuing to run? Why won't it just let me quit it like I want to?
Yeah, well, you know, it's the price you pay for free software, I suppose.
Well, now don't get all logical on me, Trent. So hashtag Twitter if you want to take part. Skype's loaded. Way to go. Trent, been 2 weeks. How the hell are you?
Not too shabby. Can't really complain.
That's me trying to tell Trent to go on because I'm apparently dying.
Oh, right. Yeah. Don't die, Will. Remember, safety first, then teamwork.
No promises. Okay, hopefully we got beyond that. Anyway, Skype's loading. Welcome, everybody. So, full disclosure, here in the studio, neither one of your hosts are really genuinely happy right now. So,
no.
As you can see, I've got this thing on my wrist. Also, Trent, I've been, originally, since you've been gone, I had bought.
You've been gone.
By the way, one of the other things that's going on is that we're gearing up for a new video setup here in whatever we want to call this studio, and everything right down to, I kid you not, Trent, rapid prototyping a holder for the other camera, because I don't have one for this particular type of camera. I even got that done right before the show.
Oh, nice.
But I couldn't crack one nut, and that nut was how to run audio into an iPad.
Yeah, because it's there's no audio in. There's only the thing where you get either it's like a microphone jack and a headphone jack.
Yeah, but technically speaking, like if I have the Apple headphones, right, they utilize the third ring to have a third ring on the headphone jack, by the way. If you look at the mini plug, like I just had something that had a mini plug here. Here we go. Like what some people would just call their stereo jack or a mini plug.
Yeah, a 3.5 millimeter jack.
If you want to be specific and metric, yes, Trent. And so sometimes you see them with a third ring. Well, the third ring is it's typically some other feature on your headphones.
It's one ring to rule them all.
Yes, or more to the point, just to allow people to talk.
Yes.
So it runs through ye old microphone jack, or it lets the microphone work on your headphones. So I would think, and I'm sure somebody has because it's the internet. But I would think somebody would have just made something as simple as a plug-in audio patch for the headphone jack.
Right.
But the particular iPad that I'm also using is the old 25-pin one.
Oh, that one. Gosh.
So I don't need
25 pins like yesterday.
well, I think it's 25 pins. Oh, hey, Trent, I don't know how to tell you this. We're getting a phone call. Should we take
there
it?
you go. Well, might as well.
First time to happen in a long time. May as well. Hopefully this is working. We'll find out in a moment. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
It's Ryan.
Oh, Ryan Connolly. How the hell are you, sir? Trent, you know this dude.
Hello, Ryan.
Hi, guys. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So just so we understand the divide, Will is miserable, but still bringing the giggles a little. And Trent is, all I'm saying is if any one of you piss off Trent today, there's going to be hell to pay.
Yeah, I will shit down both legs.
There we go. So, he's not feeling well either. So Ryan, how are you? What's going on, man?
I'm good. I just finished mowing the yard, so NetHeads is on my TV on YouTube, so it's a good day.
Nice.
So, oh wow, we're on your television?
Well, yeah, because I have my desktop computer hooked up to my 32-inch TV, so I got YouTube on, and it's big, and you guys are there, and
you know,
the
thought of my gigantic bulbous head filling the vast void of the screen there in your home, it terrifies me. Are you making sure there's no small children in the room?
Well, he's heard worse.
Okay, fair enough. We'll allow it. What else is going on, Ryan?
Not much, just living life, loving every day so far. It's been a good summer so far, even though it's just started.
Hey, you know,
Worlds of Fun.
Hey, you know, Trent, another thing too that's happening. Kevin Smith is going to be in Ryan's neck of the woods.
Oh, you don't say.
Next Friday.
Yeah, why don't you talk a little more about that, Ryan?
Friday.
He's going to be at Planet Comic-Con. He's doing an evening with Kevin Smith, and I might be actually going to see him because
nice.
Tonight.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty good, and that's on the 20th, right? So it's Friday.
Yes, sir.
So you could actually,
8 p.m.
as long as you aren't working, you could report to us next Sunday as well. Kind of be our correspondent in a way. Except please don't bother him. Don't try and interview him. Just lay low.
No.
But still be a correspondent.
Yes, I won't do anything to sully the NetHeads name.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that, because boy, oh boy, is it just an untarnished, beautiful, shiny brass ball of goodness, isn't it? Nothing dirty at all about NetHeads. No, we have a good, clean name is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and if you happen to talk to Kevin, don't remind him that it's a thing.
I won't, and I won't mention butt stuff either.
Yeah, because
You can mention butt stuff. I don't care. Just he'll be like, "What's NetHeads?" And then we'll be like, "Oh shit."
Oh, guys, he remembered about us. We're fucked. Actually, you know, I don't know if you noticed, Trent, with the new site design at smodcast.com. I find this very amusing because this was a change that went in after the site launched, and it was actually at the direction of Kevin Smith himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this kind of shocking. So if you go there and then you go over to the podcast section, you know, the top is it's everything Kevin. You know, it's the 6 different active podcasts that he's got going right now until, you know, he thinks up like 20 other ones to do.
Yeah.
And then below that, so it says Kevin's weekly shows, and then below that it says better Smodcast shows than Kevin's stupid Smodcast shows.
Oh, that is not the case.
And that's his addition.
Well, I would say the first 4. Well, definitely not I Sell Comics. Tell him Steve Dave's up there, and I love me some Phoebe and Waking from the American Dream. But the NetHead stuff.
Well, at least we're ahead of Nooner.
Yeah.
Well, NetHeads is the first podcast I go to when I hit the site, so I don't know if you're talking.
Oh, that's so, it just blows me away too when people say, yeah, I went to the site to get the podcast. It's so funny that I just don't really appreciate or comprehend it that way anymore. For me, it's all RSS feeds and getting it through an app. Never.
Yeah, well, sometimes you want to get the highest quality download, and that's coming from the website.
Or YouTube, and we get to stare at you guys' lovely faces.
Yeah, but the only and I gotta say, this is one thing too that I will look forward to with the new setup that we will have in here. When callers are calling, we'll be able to just go to a graphic instead of either turning off my camera or me having to sit here the old time people are talking and just kind of look into the camera like a big pink ugly looking egg wearing glasses.
just smile and nod like, oh, yeah.
And
what chocolate marshmallows on the side of his head?
Yes, exactly.
Because when the lights aren't on, it just looks like a big black thing.
I look like the world's ugliest Princess Leia.
Oh, you mean the headphones chocolate marshmallows?
Yes, that is what he meant. I don't know I don't think we should even try and interpret whatever you thought.
I thought you meant the sound dampeners you put up.
Oh, okay. Oh, those suckers back there.
Because they're just like black. You know what I mean? Just black. And you can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm like circling it with my cursor on my mouth. Or on my mouse. I'm just like, it's black. Black.
I really wish we had I really wish we did have like a teleprompter feature as well, which we could with this new setup, by the way.
Yeah.
I just want to know how many times Trent can say black.
Oh, it depends on. I consider well, never mind. We're not going to get into that.
I got to commend Trent, by the way. We haven't noticed this the past few times, but he has been wearing one of the best hoodies out there, and it's the Venture Brothers one that you could have only gotten during the T-shirt club sell-off.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I think.
Hey, by the way, Trent. Oh, by the way, Ryan. Anything else? How are things going? Otherwise, everything okay?
Everything's pretty good. I just wanted to call and say hi because I haven't talked to you guys in a while. So, hello.
Hey, Ryan, what kind of lawnmower are you using?
It's a push lawnmower, gas.
See, I really want a push lawnmower, but it's just like the man-powered ones,
Oh,
like,
you want
the old ones with the blades that spin around.
Those
are great.
I really want one. Because my lawn's pretty small, and I would save in gas that way, and it wouldn't be that hard. And I need the exercise anyway. I don't even know where to find them.
Are there any flea markets locally? Because that's the first place I would look.
Nope.
How about a hardware store?
Called eBay.
Push lawnmower, man-powered push lawnmower. You see what comes up here. Push. Yeah, because lately and my regular lawnmower broke, so I've just been like cutting all the grass with a weed whacker, and that takes forever.
Oh, and it's so annoying too.
Yeah, and it's so loud, and even worse for the environment.
Don't get an electric one that needs a cord because.
Oh shit! I would run into problems. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You run it over, and then power's out around the whole block, and people are coming out with pitchforks chasing you down. Bad.
I got to tell you, there was this one electric lawnmower that one of my neighbors had when I was a kid that just blew me away. And it made sense too, because the place they would mow was kind of almost on a slope, so it was a real pain probably to have to work through. But this thing was the darndest thing. It was an electric one, but here's what you would do: you would start it, and when you start it, you would purposely pull up on it, and then it would hover on its own blade air. So it was still it was a mulcher. It didn't have a bag, but it also had no wheels. It was a hover mower.
Huh. So I guess they're called reel mowers. REEL.
That makes sense.
Like a fishing
film
reel. Yeah,
or a
film reel. Yeah. Reel mower.
Do you want a reel mower?
I want a reel mower, man. Is that too much to ask for?
God damn it! I just look.
Okay,
is it too much
Sears has a site for reel mowers.
We just sound like idiots the way we keep saying reel mower.
Reel mower. Okay, so I'm looking anywhere between like $70 and $400 for a fucking reel mower.
Jesus, what's your ROI on that versus gas and everything else?
Well, I mean, I guess that's one way to look at it. Or I'm looking at your kids' ROI, Will, and what their environment's going to be like.
Dude, I don't know if it's because
a small gas engine is way less efficient because there's no emissions on it than is a car gasoline engine.
So are you? I don't know what you're saying.
The small gas engine is worse for the environment than a car engine.
Hey, I want you to know in hashtag NetHeads, Will Kent just said I've got a mechanical mower that I'm going to order. Does he mean now when he says mechanical mower though? Does he mean a real mower?
I'm guessing my biggest thing is I like to keep my grass high. You know, I like it tall because that way I don't have to water it nearly as much.
You like high grass?
No, he likes his grass
high.
to be high.
So if I can get the problem is most of them only have like a 3-inch clearance, and I'm looking for like a 5 to 6 inch clearance.
You know, that's better for water conservation too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, dude. I haven't watered my lawn in 2 years, and it's always stayed green.
Trent, you're one of the most real men I know. Just take the wheels off and put bigger ones on.
Holy shit, that's not I wonder if that would work.
Yes, it would, Trent. Yes, it would.
Well, I mean, but as far as like how the reels turn, because they have to the gears then have to connect to the wheels as well, and that's how.
Come on, Trent. Don't worry about that. You come on over. We'll go ahead and we'll use the skill saw, and we'll go ahead and we'll make a new wooden template circle right there to slap on top of it. It'll be like a cog between the two, a joiner piece. It'll be real quick, real easy, real good. We'll go ahead and use some of that really hard compressed wood too, and we'll seal it up tight.
16-inch Sun Joe. I think this is where I'm going. Sun Joe, it's called.
Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Gardening Shopping Hour. My name is Will.
Oh, it's even got a catch bag if I wanted.
Right now, we're looking at real mowers. Apparently, there's a catch bag option as well. Is that a hemp canvas bag, Trent?
I'd like to think so.
Okay, good. How the hell did we get here?
So I'm going to be seeing Captain America on Tuesday.
Oh, dude!
And I got to be honest. Full disclosure. Last I knew, Trent has not seen it.
Nope, not yet.
And let's put it this way: I saw it at the world's shittiest drive-in theater. Is the way I'll politely put it. Trent. I mean, we're talking worse than my Force Awakens seats. Okay,
right. And when those were bad.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about like something no person should actually sit and watch. I mean, like I probably could have gotten a better experience if I had poked myself in the eyes first.
Ugh.
Visually speaking. However, all of that said, there is either a text thread or a Slack thread not between you and I, just me to you.
Raving.
Oh my, I saw it in the worst conditions possible, and it's fucking amazing.
Let me see. And the great thing about Slack is I can just go in there and I think it was on Slack, and I can just type in civil and it'll pop right up.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Will, you have a daughter. Have you seen Zootopia yet?
No. My wife wanted to go see it though.
A guy at my work was going off about how good Zootopia was.
Zootopia was great.
Oh, I hear that.
Yeah,
Whoa, I think we just heard Mrs. Connolly.
No, that was the 9-year-old son.
Hey, that was the 9-year-old boy. And Will's ears are terrible. There's a reason why, though. We'll talk about that after we drop this call. We'll keep that recommendation. You're going to see Captain America. I'm convinced you'll love it. I mean, I'm sure if we go on Rotten Tomatoes, it's still somewhere in the 90 percentile of fresh rating.
So next Sunday, I'll have like an essay written about Captain America and An Evening with Kevin Smith, and I'll give my dissertation.
That sounds good. But I want you to make sure you write it out in outline form, and then from there, I want you to instantly trim 1/3 of what you wrote, so that way we can just have the cream of the crop. Okay?
There you go. I'm on it.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks, Ryan, for your call. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Will, I'll also make sure I send it off to my editor. His name is Trent Hunsaker.
Yeah, I'll push it through.
Okay, good. Sounds good. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Bye, dude.
Well, that was nice. The phone actually still works, Trent.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder.
Yeah, I know. So what I was saying before Ryan's call came in, I even did a rapid prototype on the phone holder. Can't get the audio in there. But I wanted to talk about that whole rapid prototype thing because the people watching the video by now have seen I've got this brace on my wrist because I'm old and feeble. And then I had some other pictures I'll share next week will describe how I got this on my thumb.
Ooh,
and blisters. That on my hand.
And is that, yeah.
Those are not blisters, my friend. Those are the exact reason why you wear work gloves.
Tears.
This one I would not have a thumb had I not worn work gloves. It would have, you know how you have those shop teachers that only have like, they got pieces of their thumbs missing.
Yeah.
That would have been me because, folks, a table saw is just like the ocean. You never turn your back on it.
No, sir.
Trent, let me cut to the chase here. I know you're like me. You're not in a good mood, but I found something.
I don't know if you're meaning to be punny with cutting to the chase about a saw. Ha. Ha.
I'm unfortunately, this is one of those moments again where I'm too stupid to know the joke.
Cut to the chase, and I'll tell you how I almost lost my hand in a saw.
Ah, there you go. Okay. No, not what I meant, but so things that have they've been Mother's Day was nice though.
Yeah.
And I've had like the perfect storm of shit all happen at once, including having to due to storm damage and neighbors that don't want to look at storm damage. I've had to replace both of the fences that border my yard.
Mm-hmm.
First fence just got cleared out, but the second fence I was on hand when it was getting torn down. And well, I had a few ideas and with what I could do with some of that wood, because there's all these folks. The internet is a dangerous thing because it makes people believe they can do things themselves.
Right. Yeah.
I did not do that with the fence. However, when they ripped out all the wood, I noticed some beautiful redwood 2x10s that were runners along the bottom.
Yeah.
So I had them set those aside. And then about half of the wood planks that they took down, the fence boards, I have them set those aside. And so in the past couple weeks, I have you remember the white trash pool that I almost put the bobcat through?
Yes. The above ground pool.
Yes. So now in the partially sunken above ground pool, it's in the ground 2 feet. But still looks very unnatural because it's metal, and it looks like metal. There's nothing organic about metal unless you find ore, and then it doesn't look like metal. So I took the fence boards and I actually kind of built a little wooden fence that goes around, like immediately up against the side of the pool. So it's like I put up siding on it,
Right.
And now it looks a lot more organic. It's beautiful. I'll share that picture next week or I'll tweet about it. And then the other thing I did, and this was the bold move, I think. I don't know if you are. Do you know what a farmhouse table is, Trent?
I don't think so.
Long story short, they are a very forgiving table to make because they are meant to be rustic. The idea is that, you had various wood left around because of fixes you've done on the barn or what have you. So, very long story short, 2x10 top with breadboard ends, and then 4x4s for legs, 2x4s for skirting, and 2x4 as a stretcher going across the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. I made one of those.
You don't say.
I am not kidding. As a matter of fact, you know what? I don't have my phone, but thanks to the power of the internet, I could probably pull down the picture and tweet it. It came out beautifully, Trent. And I don't want to say I'm not surprised because of my skill, but I want to say I'm not surprised because of the tools that I have at my disposal that I really shouldn't.
Yeah.
I have got a table saw, I've got an air compressor, I've got a miter saw, 3 different skill saws. There's 2 other kinds of saws in my garage. I don't even know what they are. Like one of them is like a trace saw or something like that. And so anyway, the important thing is, maybe it is possible to be able to do these things, but you got to have the right tools for the right job.
Right.
I didn't have a power sander, but my brother-in-law did. I borrowed it from him.
Nice.
It's made using pocket tools, so he lent me the Craig jig to make pocket holes.
Okay.
Did I say pocket tools?
Yeah.
Meant pocket holes. I'm a pocket tool.
Yeah. And a pocket hole is how I jerk off.
No. No, that's it's an angular cut into the wood. So that way your screw can go in there, and it almost is what is that term? When you countersink, that's the word I'm looking for. When you countersink a screw, in this case, so it goes down into the wood, and it's got part of the wood to grab or to hold up against, and the other part grinds down into it.
Okay.
So to the next board, so it forms a strong bond between the two. Plus, I use a lot of wood glue, and I can't believe I made this gorgeous freaking table.
Yeah.
It took a long time, though. I'm not gonna lie. Mainly because at first I had to treat the wood to make sure it wouldn't be infested with bugs. I had to power wash it, and in a lot of cases, I had to use the table saw to shim it down in some ways, to make everything join up okay.
Right.
But and boy, oh boy, it takes a lot of sanding too. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, especially for something that's weathered so much to actually get it down to
Well, not even just the weathered, because it also uses for the rest of the wood. Like if you wanted to make one of these tables, first of all, if you wanted to buy one of these tables, like let's say you went to Cost Plus World Market, you're looking at about $900. If you go to what is that? Like a Pottery Barn, that's the name of it.
Okay.
This table would be like $1,800.
Jesus H.
If you use construction common wood, because it's the 21st century, we have the ability
and you're not actually buying reclaimed barnwood.
No, I'm not. Although, like in my case, I had reclaimed wood. But if you use construction common lumber, you can also do all of the refining work on the wood to make it look nice. Yeah. So you can make this table even if you just bought the construction common lumber. It's like under $200 worth of lumber. I think it's $100 worth of lumber at most.
Yeah.
So you can make these things really cheap, which was my motivator. And they come out looking real nice. And obviously, that's a big cost savings.
Yeah, for sure.
You, actually, you know what? Here, I'm not even gonna tweet it because I'm just too lazy. Let me grab the iPad. I was getting things ready.
I thought you were gonna pull out a 10 key and we were gonna be like
let's add this up right now.
Yeah.
It's funny too. I actually had that like an old accountant's thing, where you enter, or an old power calculator. That's it,
yeah,
electric accounting calculator with the reel. Anyway, nobody cares about that. Let me open up this. We'll show the people on YouTube, and then I'll tweet later once I actually figure out how, because I was preparing for using the new stuff that we didn't get to use today. So instead, okay, I got to admit something to you, Trent. Here we go. Okay. We'll go albums. So what I did is I took all these pictures getting ready for the show because I thought I'd be able to run them out of the iPad with that new stuff that I wanted to use. But anyway, for those of you on YouTube, very low tech methodology.
Oh, nice.
That's the farmhouse table.
Yeah.
Right now it's just the old chairs from our previous dining set.
But you could stain them to match.
I could do that, Trent. I really, really could. Oh, good. Now the iPad is frozen. That's handy.
Thanks
you got
a lot, Steve's Jobs.
No,
Steve's job.
Hey, don't besmirch the dead.
No, well, he doesn't care. He's dead.
You know what? You keep bringing that up, and legitimately, it's a valid point.
Yeah,
I think
oops. Sorry, he doesn't have any cognition of what's going on.
No. And so what I was going to say is you could go with that, or it's a little blurry on this one. Or if you wanted, you could also make a nice farmhouse bench to go with it, which is what I did. And my wife has never. Let me tell you this, okay? I'm not the first person in my family to do this. My brother-in-law did this as well. He did it over a year ago.
Sure.
I saw the lumber and I'm like, oh, that's a perfect opportunity. I really didn't save a lot of money using the reclaimed lumber, but it's got, the thing I like about it, Trent, is it's got character. It's got, like, there's one part of the table where a nail had been put into the wood temporarily for whatever reason on the face of it, and then somebody bent it in. So you look at the table, and at one point, even though I sanded it down a lot, you can still see like the side imprint of a nail and its
been
body
bashed in there. Yeah,
and I like it, man, because it's got history now, and it's a part of it. Forever a part of this house has become a piece of furniture.
So the side that the dogs would pee on, did you put that on the bottom side or the top side?
The dogs were never allowed in that part of the yard.
Okay.
And as I said, not only did I pressure wash it, Trent, my God, I sanded the ever living shit out of it. This stuff, this wood, like that picture I showed, that was stained wood. The wood wasn't stained when it went in, but I'll tell you, it looked like that color after all those years outside. and I got it down to the point where it was looking lean, mean, and raw.
Yeah.
Like really good. So it's, I don't know. I can't believe that I did it. But the thing that I like is that my brother-in-law did this, but he's a general contractor as well. You know, he got a contracting license and everything else.
Yeah.
So like he knows what to do. He knows the right things to do, the mistakes not to make.
Right.
I, however, do not. But the thing that I love is once his table was made, everybody just says things like, "Oh yeah, well that looks pretty good. Wow, nice job, good." I do it. You think I cured cancer? People's reactions to it.
Oh my God, you did that?
I've heard a lot of that. That's exactly
amazing.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Here, let me tweet the table so that everyone else can see it. Not that anyone cares. And I'm just gonna. The tweet is just gonna say #NetHeads the table.
The table.
And the blurry picture of the bench. Now the bench was funny. I went off build for the from the plans on it. Thinking I would just use two 2x6s. And I don't know what I was thinking, but I was a little short on the top. Not short lengthwise, but widthwise.
Right. Yeah.
So you know what I did, Trent? I just threw a 2x4 right in the middle of that sumbitch, and I'll be goddamned if it don't look like a stylistic choice.
Yeah, because it's right in the center, so you have symmetry on your side.
Don't nobody know it was a mistake, Trent? They don't know
the troubles you've seen. Nobody knows.
No, they just don't know the mess. They don't know the screw up that I did in the middle.
Oh, right. Yeah. That too.
So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of woodworking, and I've really I've racked my wrist. The wrist is just a matter of like it after lifting so much heavy shit, it's got issues.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, when you've assembled
like your cock, you knew that was coming.
You know what, Trent? I got to be honest. I appreciate the effort, man.
Don't appreciate it too much. There wasn't a lot.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean? Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean, Trent. I got to tell you, every time you say "you know what I mean," I know what you mean.
Know what I mean, Vern?
I know what you mean. I know it. I know it.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing to kind of keep my sanity. And I wanted to, my wife has always wanted one of those tables. So the idea was that it was an inexpensive way to make a very grand Mother's Day gift.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why we weren't on last week. It was Mother's Day.
But I mean, again, though, you know, you have to factor, if you're factoring your time in, then it is a very valuable gift.
That is true. Well, plus it's
time is worth money.
No one else can give her this table.
Exactly.
I made it.
And it's something from your home.
Now, here's an interesting thing too, Trent, because I could do this part-time as well. Tell me what you think about this.
Yeah.
Because I see these tables being sold on Craigslist all the time for at least $700.
Yeah.
I could make at least 2 of these tables a week.
Oh, easy, dude. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's time to finally gut the other side of the garage and build that into a wood shop.
Yep.
Because goddamn, if I could just come home for a couple hours a night and then end of the week get a little green,
you're good to go.
That's what I'm saying, buddy. Because you know, Trent, you and I, we're cut from the same cloth. We're hustlers.
Yeah,
we're a
hustler, baby. That's for sure. You know,
we're looking to make that dollar, right? Mm-hmm. So that's one way to do it. I'm thinking. And you know, the only thing I need to do, and unfortunately, I came to a realization on this. I thought it would be really cool too, like if on the bottom of the leg of every table that I make, I like branded it, so that way, that was like my signature thing. But then I would think, okay, well, what would my brand be? Well, it would probably be my 2 initials. And then I realized I probably couldn't. Except I probably couldn't get away with any design that doesn't look like the Wonder Woman logo.
Oh, yeah. Or the Mighty Mouse logo.
Upside down. Depending on which way you look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the hell that is my life.
Yeah.
Wow, Mom, wow. By the way, speaking of life and people not caring because they're dead, well, that's a hell of an entry.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Trent, one of the things that's near and dear to our hearts here on the show are comic books. And once again, 2016 proving to be a bitch of a year.
Yeah, dude.
Tell the people what happened, my friend.
Yeah, Darwin Cook lost his battle to the cancer, so he's dead. Sucks.
Cancer, man. I can't stand it.
Yeah. Yep.
And people
that's
would
that.
be familiar with him through
The New Frontier, which was a alternate take on the entire mythos of the DC universe. Also, he's the guy responsible for the now ever so popular Catwoman with big goggles. That was his design that he did with Ed Brubaker.
his character designs were a little bigger too that I liked.
They were he never considered himself a comic book artist. He considered himself much like Jack Kirby did, a cartoonist.
And in his style reflected it, but in many ways it was kind of refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of times you'll get people will confuse Bruce Timm's work with Darwin Cook's.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of that same.
Oh, well, that makes
look.
perfect sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, Trent. I don't mean to pimp other people's wares here.
Oh, by all means.
But there, well, because look, folks, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? Captain America: Civil War just dropped. People love it. The reactions have been loud and proud.
So good.
It has, I believe, already made more money than Batman v Superman.
Yeah, it did even before it released in the United States.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing about this too, if you think about it, look, let's face it. I don't know how this happened when you have two of the most iconic characters in comic books. Okay. You could find somebody that has never been in civilization in the middle of some remote forest or jungle somewhere. And you know what? Somehow even they've heard of Batman and Superman.
Oh, for sure.
How you could have the biggest characters in the world and have in the same movie and throw in Wonder Woman. So now you got the holy trifecta there and have a disappointing film is beyond me.
Yeah.
In contrast, and here's where I'm going with this, folks. How long has Marvel been beating down DC, and how long will they continue to do it? Because Marvel somehow has figured out how to do it right. As a matter of fact, the genius thing about this is that originally this wasn't even the timetable for Batman v Superman and for Civil War. You know, everybody adjusted stuff. And here you have two versus movies essentially coming out at the same time. So I saw this thing on the Nerdist news the other, I think it was a couple weeks ago, or it was right when Captain America came out, or after Batman v Superman was kind of determined to be a little floppish. And one of the things they brought up was who should be the Kevin Feige for DC, because clearly letting what's his name do it, Zack Snyder, isn't working. Okay, look, I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna say anything about Snyder. I'm just gonna say that the solution is not working. This is not the guy that should be the architect of your universe.
Exactly.
He would be a great director that you could give content to have him develop the action. Oh, come on, man. And look, fault it for whatever you want. I thought that the Watchmen movie was an amazing visual work of art that paid tribute to where it came from. And I only mean in respect that it was kind of, I don't know. There are things I liked about watching Trent. I'm not going to lie to you. My toddler won't go to sleep at night. She's running us through the ringer.
Yeah.
The other night I watched Fantastic Four on HBO because I still have it for now.
The new one?
Yeah, the new one. And I got to say something. If it weren't a Fantastic Four movie, if you take that element out, you just take those names out, it's actually not that bad of a film.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, its final confrontational thing kind of peters out a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, everything up to that, it was tolerable, I guess is the best way to put it.
So if it was called Chronicle, it would be better.
Yeah, exactly. Well, even Chronicle was, but for a quote unquote found footage movie, that was a really interesting and amazing concept.
Yeah.
I mean, I to this day will still watch Chronicle and enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So they were on Nerdist News. They were asking, who should be the Kevin Feige, because Zack Snyder, it's as an orchestrator, it's not quite working out. And they brought up something very interesting that I never would have thought of, but it is brilliant. Okay, so but before I give you that answer, let me ask you, Trent, just from your wealth of knowledge, the things that you know of the comic book industry and all of the media types that have spawned from them. If somebody came to Trent Hunsaker and they said, Trent, you're not going to make any money off of this, because that's not the way the world works. However, we've heard you are the authority on this, so we want to know, who should we make as the orchestrator of our universe?
Sure. Well, I would think I would say you'd have to see what Marvel's done, which they've ripped off the Pixar model. So you have to say, who do we want to be our John Lasseter for this?
Okay.
And then I would say James Robinson, which I know is not the case, and it would never be. But I love the man so much. I've just got the biggest man crush on him. And
okay,
then
wait, hold on. So who's James Robinson? You got to explain it for the people.
Yeah. So James Robinson is the guy who came in and basically created, along with Jeff Johns, the JSA back into popularity, and he's the guy that's always taken Golden Age characters and brought them back into relevance in popular culture. Whether it be through Earth 2 or Starman, for example. And I think that would be, and that's kind of what's happened, is the DC characters have kind of been pigeonholed as, they're heroes first. And so that's kind of an archaic way of looking at things. And so I think he would be able to bring a fresh new look into the characters in our through our contemporary lenses, if it is.
Mm-hmm.
But all said and done, just put Jim Lee in charge.
Okay, that also is a good idea. Now, however, though, if you want to talk about they said something. Yeah. I'm going to say it too. Yeah. But I'm going to be, folks, I'm sorry. Visually speaking, this is going to suck, because I'm going to turn over and I'm going to look at my laptop, because I want to see Trent's reaction when he says that. You're going to actually hear, let me do this. If there's any one thing I can do, what are you looking at, Trent? Are you telling somebody you'll just be another 5 minutes?
No.
Okay, so here's Trent. So now I'm able to watch your reaction too while I tell you this. Everybody's looking at you right now. Just one heads up. So here's what they said. I want to see the reaction on your face.
Kevin Smith.
No.
Oh.
No. This was. Hold on. I almost got myself fired. Here. Okay. No, actually, okay. We'll get onto that later. Hold on. So here we go. Here's who they said, and this blew me away. Bruce Timm Paul Dini.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh man, I thought there would be a bigger reaction to that, because when I heard that, I'm like, because these are guys that have adapted the material successfully time and time again.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes total sense.
And they don't come off as people that possibly, just picked up the death of Superman and said, okay, well, I'll take that, and that. And they grabbed Dark Knight Returns and they said, oh, I'll take that, and that. And just kind of jumble it all together.
Well, and that's just it. That's why I think you have to have someone, like, if they would have created a true interpretation of Frank Miller's Batman Dark Knight Returns, then it would have been awesome. But for any of this to work, Warner Brothers, Time Warner, has to be able to let them work within their own bubble and stop being top down. And then we could have had our Batman Returns, not Batman versus Superman, the dawn of justice, launching point for the new world that's never been the same. Forget that we ever made Green Lantern and tried, because now we're going to come back and really make movies this time, we promise. Version 1.
Yeah.
So I think it doesn't matter how good the person is you put in charge, as long as the suits are getting involved from the top down, it's going to be the same stuff.
And once again, we look at what Marvel is doing, and essentially Disney said, okay, we're going to take movies and move it out from under this guy. You're just reporting to the head of the studio now.
Yep.
And which point?
That's the John Lasseter model.
And that's exactly what you said. Let them be in their bubble, because you just know now they're just, I mean, I've seen Captain America. You haven't seen it yet, but it is, you can tell that somebody said, all right, all the money, go ahead, throw it over there.
Sure.
It's cool.
Just do what you need. Whatever it takes. You want Spider-Man to be in this movie? All right, we'll make it happen.
Dude. So by the way, did you find my tweets about the movie in Slack?
No, it wasn't in Slack. I was looking through Twitter, but then stopped. Or through, through like actual text.
Well, hold on. I'm going to look inside of General first. Let me see. We could just do a search, right? So I'll just do a search on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, do that and you'll see him.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so here's what I said. The entire introduction of Peter Parker has me in tears. Finally, it's truly Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Wait, was that it?
Yeah.
I've said more than that though, because really, oh my God, it is. It is just, it's pure gold. I don't know how we have come this far without Spider-Man really being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, interesting twist.
That's good casting.
It'll work, you know.
Yeah. Gosh, it's weird to think that she's that old though. That she's old enough to pull off an Aunt May. You know what I mean?
No, they really kind of adjusted Aunt May on that one.
Really?
That's what I think.
Okay.
Let me see if I said anything else about Civil War.
Cause like, I don't know. Well, and I guess Ultimate Aunt May's a lot younger anyway. So if that's kind of the route they're looking to, you know, we can pull from that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it works, and it doesn't hurt to young her up a little bit, I think.
Well, and I've always it's weird, man, and I don't know why, but for some reason, ever since George thought that he had a shot with Marissa Tomei, I've kind of had a thing for her, you know.
Oh, come on. Marissa Tomei is the only reason why you're able to stomach looking at Joe, whatever his name is, or God, I can't even remember his name anymore. It's not Joe Piscopo, the guy that was in My Cousin Vinny.
Al Pacino?
No, My Cousin
Joe
Vinny.
Pesci.
Joe Pesci, thank you. Marissa Tomei is the only reason why you can look at Joe Pesci in a lead for that entire movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Thankfully, you know, after so long, you get to see the forest for the trees.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I don't know.
This was were they doing that back then? I thought that things were still kind of all natural.
Are you talking about the carpet matching the drapes? I'm clear now.
Just saying, I looked at porn in the 90s and I don't remember it being that shorn.
Oh man.
It blew my world though. I'm like, what?
Huh?
Dirty.
Okay. Well, to change topics a little bit, because I mean, there's nothing else to say. Civil War really is incredible. I think the one way I put it best is that Trent, Marvel made this movie for you, and they just don't know it.
I know. That's why when I see it, I mean, it's going to be a very holy experience, you know? Well,
and dude, in the end, it once again, another beautiful thing that they do in this is that they do a great job. And it's mind-boggling to think about. They've done a great job of, if you've only watched the Captain America movies, they connect up very well.
Yeah, and that's what I appreciate is this is Captain America Civil War. This is primarily a Cap story.
It is, but I'm sorry, it really is Avengers Part 3.
Minus 2 of the Avengers.
It is, yes. And they even play that in the movie, if you don't mind me spoiling a line. Good. It's great.
Good.
Because they what's his name? The general from the Hulk movie.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross says, well, Captain, where are Thor and Hulk? You know, if I misplaced 220 megaton bombs, people would ask.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and he's also had some to do in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff too.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I know that the Sokovia Accords were mentioned in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
This past week, as a matter of fact.
How about Agent Carter getting canceled?
That's a real bummer. However,
sucks, dude, I really like that show.
I did too, but it's hard for me to get upset about the canceling when I didn't even finish the second season.
Oh, yeah.
But I also don't think that Agent Carter was a good show, but its ratings did drop in the second season. I don't know if that was a fair. I'm kind of shocked that they did it though, considering it was, when it comes to production, it was an ABC studio show airing on ABC, so they're saving money by not having to do the licensing. Maybe it's a bit of a pain doing the period stuff, but like from what I saw this last season, it was a lot of very specific locations or stage work. So
yeah. Well, plus we got to see Ralph Garman on it.
Yeah, at least in the first season, that was nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
So yeah, it's a bummer that got canceled. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did get renewed, so that's good, even though they're gearing up for killing a team member. So, anybody that wasn't on the first season,
And maybe well, I guess they already were doing shortened seasons though with Agent Carter, weren't they? They weren't doing a full 24, were they?
Yeah, that was like a mid-season 13 episode show.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Huh. I don't know.
Yeah. So Captain America Civil War, I hope you get to see it soon, Trent.
Me too.
I actually hope I get to see it in the theater soon too. So
I drove by on Sunday thinking, oh, it's Mother's Day. It'll be less packed. Nope.
No,
theater had people parking out on the street. It was so full.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because kids, the sons and daughters wanted to see the movie, and the moms, they like looking at the man candy.
But there's no Chris Hemsworth. There's no Thor without his shirt on in this.
Oh, come on, dude. For the muscular people, you got the Cap. For the ones that are more the intellectuals, they got Tony Stark. I don't know.
It's
a no-lose situation for the ladies.
There's just something about that Norse god that really does it for my man boner.
My wife too. What can I say? It's because I like to think of it as being able to have polar opposites. So she's got Thor to look at on one hand and me on the other.
Oh, hey now.
There you go. He's the north and I'm way south.
Yeah. So you're like well, I guess in Norse mythology a woman is in charge of hell, so that one probably wouldn't work, but
no. I'm whatever is on a Norse god's foot.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Hair,
or
bunions.
That's me. I'm the bunion of the physical representation.
Yeah.
Something else happened this week, Trent. That's kind of big.
Oh,
and I got to admit, I have already told you how much I love CW's The Flash.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, As a matter of fact, I was one of the people that was like screaming when Kevin hadn't watched it yet because like when you watch the first season, the thing that I loved the most about it, that I discovered about it, was that and have you seen the first season?
Yes.
Yeah. I think you would agree almost every episode is structured like a comic book.
Yeah.
Right down to some splash reveals that happen and they don't even pay off right away. They pay off a few issues down.
Yeah. And every episode itself is a 3-act structure.
Yeah. So it's but like in a comic book form. So
right. Yeah.
Plays real well. And the people that are doing it, again, you can tell that they know the content and they love the content because they bring comparables to the screen for us.
Yeah.
And this past week, in one of the greatest strokes of genius ever, they got a Hollywood writer working on something else, but the guy who wrote like Thor and wrote First Class. He wrote the episode from this past week. More importantly,
was it Christos Gage?
No, it was Zach Stentz, I think is his name.
Okay.
So he wrote the episode and it was a great episode. Directed by somebody you may have heard of. His name is Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah. Oh, that this week's episode that just happened. Yes.
And the fun thing about that, Trent, is that when you see the episode, I found this kind of funny. And I say this the way I did because let's be very clear. Kevin did not write this. He may have informed some actor decisions or asked for some stuff. However, he did not do any writing on this.
Right.
But it was a very talky episode.
Yeah.
So, and it had the feels, and it Trent, it was one of honestly, I've seen all the reviews now, and pretty much everyone just extolled how amazing of an episode it was.
Yeah, and this is so there's 2 episodes left, correct?
Yeah, there's only 2 more.
Yeah. So this sets the stage for the penultimate episode.
Actually, the interesting thing about this episode, at the heart of it, what it was it was about Barry Allen finally coming to the acceptance that as a hero, there will always be some sorrow. There will always be some loss that you cannot change, you cannot avert, you cannot cure. Tragedy is kind of your sidecar.
Yeah. Well, and again, those are always the best Superman stories too. They're not having to deal with Superman fighting stuff. It's Superman dealing with the stuff he can't fight.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this was. This was kind of like well, I guess the best way to put it with what was in the episode, prior to this, Barry had been given his powers, but he didn't consciously ask for them. And spoilers in this episode, it was what happened after they were trying to recover his powers.
Right.
Okay. So in this, and this is the interesting part, he ends up actually in the Speed Force.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But the Speed Force has manifested itself as the world that Barry lives in, and it keeps manifesting itself as the people in his life. It starts out with his adopted father, Joe, and then he's they tell him you can't get out of here unless you catch that thing. So he goes chasing after it, and then it's Iris, and then it's his dad, and then finally it's his mom, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's about him accepting the things that he can't fix, the people he can't save. He's just got, and it's an amazing thing because you don't really think about that, that a hero would even dwell on the fact of the things that he couldn't do.
Right.
So it played out.
Yeah, because that's always the thing in therapy. They say is focus on the things you can affect.
Yeah, and it was just it was an amazing hour of 44 and a half minutes or whatever it is. But it was great. And I got to tell you, one thing that happened for me after seeing the episode first and then seeing the reviews, not to mention the producers of the show saying how much they loved his episode before it aired. The cast and crew talking about how Kevin was just a refreshing revelation on set. Energy and everything else. I gotta admit it. I watched the episode, and part of what just happened for me is I was just so happy for this guy that I sort of know.
this dude who you have an affiliation with.
There you go. And, I felt so glad for him because really, this is it's another one of those things where, yeah, it's an opportunity, but one of the things I said last week is just when it comes right down to it, sometimes it just sucks being Kevin Smith.
Oh, yeah.
And I only mean that in the respect that when you do something good, people shit on you. And when you do something bad, people shit on you.
Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Mostly because the people, when you do something good and people shit on you, is because, there's, in my opinion, it's basically like jealousy. It's like, because Kevin Smith does represent the dream. Any one of us could have been Kevin Smith just in basic theory.
Sure.
Okay. So, when you've got some other guy sitting in his chair at home and he's like, oh God, look at him talking about Kevin Smith again. I could have done something better than that, but they're still sitting on their couch.
But you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't do a fucking thing. So from that respect, I was just, I don't want to say I was worried when he did this. I just want to say that, I hoped it was a good episode and it was received well, because this is, let's put it this way, Trent. You know what? Fuck the analogy. The guy loves the show, and the last thing he wants to do is fuck it up or be shit on for doing it.
Oh yeah, like especially when it's something that you hold true to your heart. You that's even more pressure. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's one thing to go in there and then have people, like give you bad reviews for Cop Out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or dismiss your working Cop Out, but to have someone go in and then dismiss something that you have fucking shed tears over.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I'm not to say there weren't tears shed over Cop Out, but more out of bullying or having been bullied.
After the show ends, I'm going to tell you a little story. Yeah, that's exactly the point, though. And so I was just so glad that it paid out so well. And I got to tell you something else, too, man. I have rewatched that episode like 3 times now.
Yeah.
Because it's such a well-played story, especially when you look at the structure of it, because you got the one very serious story, which is Barry trying to get his powers back. And then there's like there was a B story and a C story. And so the A story is very serious. The B story in many ways was almost comical, and C was a little bit more of heart thrown in. It's just a little extra. So it was a wonderful episode. And boy, oh boy, when you get caught up on this season, Trent, it is
treat.
Seriously, yeah. It's been very well played out. Because the second season you kind of worry. Are they going to overthink it? They certainly didn't.
Good.
As a matter of fact, it played out really damn well. You know, I got to tell you, Trent, we were supposed to do a copy for a Casper ad, and I forgot it.
Well, you know, Casper is awesome.
Trent, you know, you spend a quarter of your life on your back.
That's true. You do that.
And when you do it, by God,
well,
you
and
should
if
be
and
comfortable.
if you're popular, you spend more than a quarter of your life on your back.
That's only if you got the skill, son.
Sometimes you just have to be there. Just show up.
That's very true, Trent. But you know what? Unlike some of these other people you may hear out there, I have a Casper mattress.
Oh, so you did like the whole I'm told that taking it out is the funnest part.
Are we still talking about the mattress?
Yeah. You unsleeve it and it like gets bigger.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
It's kind of a fun part. You don't expect it to just show up in a roll.
Are we still talking about the mattress?
I hope so.
Trent, yeah, it is, because you know it shows up and it's like a gigantic kind of burrito-ish thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's like that favorite '90s dish, a wrap.
Yeah, there you go.
We're gonna have a wrap. We're having wraps for dinner.
By the way, one of the best burrito places I had ever seen named was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Plays well. Nobody cares about that. Trent, let me tell you about Casper.
And they only play Yo MTV Raps.
Exactly. The Casper mattress, Trent, it's this amazing hybrid technology of memory foam and latex that gives you just the right sink, just the right bounce. Now, if you go to netheadsonair.com, you click the Casper banner, here's what's going to happen. You say, Will, mattresses are expensive.
Oh, fuck yeah, they are.
Not a Casper mattress. Trent, king size mattress, $950. Where are you going to find that? For a king?
Because you're paying double that for most kings.
There you go. And best of all, you use our link, get you $50 off your mattress. So everything
for any mattress, not just the king.
Any of them, the twin.
You could be like me and rocking a double, and then you always apologize for whenever you have company over that it's so small.
You know, Trent, I got to tell you. Again, are we talking about the mattress?
I hope so.
Because I got to tell you, man, you're a fella that's fit for a queen.
Dude,
you know I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, it's true. And my feet always hang off the bottom of a double.
Yeah. So anyway, if you wanted to take advantage of this, for example, Trent, and you say, Will, how is it possible I would want to buy a mattress? I'm supposed to go to a store and sit down and lay on them and try them. No. Why you want to lay on some mattress 100 other people? Why don't you just go buy a mattress from a hotel room?
Gross.
God's sake. Exactly.
Ew.
See what he said there?
Gross.
And Trent knows because he got some like gift sheets from a place once, and you want to burn them.
Well, you just go ahead and ask for them.
Yeah.
Sure. Like a long toenail will go right through a sheet that they give you.
Yeah. So that's why they want to get rid of them. But Trent, with this 100 days risk-free trial,
Test
you don't
drive.
like it, send it back.
Take it for a spin through your room.
No, because that's the way you want to test it out. You want to set it up. You want to sleep on it. Let's see what it is like. Let's see what it's like 50 days from now.
Oh, I get it. Sleep on it.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
How they will say, like, make a decision, you should sleep on it.
Yes. And
you can literally sleep on it.
Yes, you can. So go to netheadsonair.com, click the Casper mattress banner. Folks, I'm telling you, I sleep on this thing. I've had back problems. I had a memory foam mattress before this, Trent.
Yeah.
Piece of shit I got at Costco.
Yeah.
Nothing like this Casper mattress.
And you had to take it home, and it was all awkward and shit from the Costco, you know?
It was. This
one just shows up right at your fucking doorstep.
They just deliver it right there to you. So that's all you do, folks. Go to CasperMattress.com. No, you don't. Sorry. You go to NetHeadsOnAir.com. Click that Casper ad and get yourself a new mattress, man. I got to tell you, it's life-changing. You will love it. I love it. I guarantee it. How do I guarantee it? 100 days.
Yeah, 100 days. Test drive.
And I do it under the name of Casper Mattress.
That's a lot of power you're wielding there, Will.
Well, you know, somebody's got to, Trent.
Yeah.
Trent, somebody's got to be in charge, and that person is me. That's my decision.
Okay, I accept that.
That's crazy talk. That was actually in season 6, episode 1 of Community.
Oh, okay.
She's like, somebody has to be in charge. That's me. That's my decision.
Yeah.
And then she goes on a real world interview somewhere else, and the guy's like, "Are you crazy?
What? What's going on?"
By the way, Trent, too, I got to tell you another thing that I love. And I'm not kidding here. I'm literally, it's something I love and
Yeah.
something I use. I got pictures. Next week I'll prove it.
Sure.
You know what that thing is, Trent?
No.
It's a little thing called Blue Apron.
Oh, with the cook stuff.
Yeah. Here, look, Trent.
Yeah.
Wednesday rolls around.
Yeah.
We hadn't been to the grocery store yet.
Yeah.
We get the Blue Apron. Okay.
Mhm.
For less than or less than like $10 a person is essentially how this boils down to. It's not as expensive as eating out, but it's just as freaking exotic with some of the food you get. But best of all, it comes right to your door. Everything you need, Trent. We hadn't been to the grocery store. I've cooked 4 freaking dinners now.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what
from the Blue Apron.
From the Blue Apron. It arrived at my door, fresh ingredients, full instructions. Folks, in life, you gotta know how to cook. If you don't, you're blowing up burritos in your kitchen.
Yeah, if you want to have like a better quality of life, you do.
Yeah, you don't want to be blowing up burritos in your microwave.
Oh, that's sad.
Because then you're burning like aromatics for weeks trying to get that smell out.
So true.
Did you ever get the smell out, by the way?
Well, I think I just grew accustomed to it.
There you go. Well, I guess the person to ask is Will Kent then.
Yeah.
Anyway, Blue Apron, folks. It's really simple. It's really you can get meals for 2 people, or you can get it for the family plan. You got 4. Let me tell you some of the things I have literally cooked. Okay.
Yeah. What have you cooked, Will?
Last night I cooked skirt
steak.
Skirts or sliced steak and goat cheese sandwiches.
Okay, feta
with purple potatoes and asparagus.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was very interesting to look at, but most of all, it was delicious.
Yeah.
Another thing I made.
That describes a lot of things.
Yeah, but this, Trent, I made it and it's exotic.
Yeah.
Let's say you're going to go to the grocery store right now, Trent, right? And you're going to like just try and get something. Odds are you're just going to come back with some ground beef, some rice, and maybe some buns, okay?
Sure.
But with Blue Apron, here's the way Blue Apron will really pay off, okay? Let's say you're dating, right?
Okay.
You want to impress your lady friend, but you can't afford
or your dude friend.
You can't afford to go out, right?
Yeah.
It's just one of those times. Here's how I'll hook you up. It's real simple. You go to NetHeadsOnAir.com. You click the Blue Apron logo. First 2 meals on me.
Oh, that's fun. You're going to pay for it? Well, that's nice of you.
Well, yeah, sure. I'm going to pay for it, Trent.
Yeah.
2 first meals. You sign up for Blue Apron. They're on me. Best of all, you get them delivered. You haven't spent anything. You get to make this glorious meal. Maybe you get some time with your lady, your male friend, whoever they is.
Yeah.
And they're all impressed because you showed up making them some fancy looking meal like crispy catfish on fourquois or something.
You gave him the Blue Apron.
Yeah, and then
treatment, you know what I mean?
And then you don't have the blue balls. That's all I'm saying.
I am going right to Urban Dictionary. I'm going to create something for giving them the Blue Apron treatment.
Oh, you do that. Hey, by the way,
it's whining and dining, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, well, as long as we're playing up words, so Blue Apron, what would be a deja screw?
Like where you, I don't know. What would it be?
What would that be? You accidentally hook up with the same person from a bar that you didn't realize before?
Yeah, you're like, gosh, this sure seems familiar.
Yeah. Oh, no, better yet, no, never mind. I'm not going to say it. I'll save that one for after the show. So anyway, Trent, Blue Apron, it's great. NetHeadsOnAir.com. Go there. Wonderful. You'll love it. That's all I'm saying.
Do that.
Anyway, anything in your world, Trent, you want to talk about before we get the fuck out of here?
Go buy New Frontier or anything else by Darwin Cook, because he's, as a freelance artist, did not have health insurance proper, and his family now has to pay for all of that stuff. So go. The best way you can help is by buying his stuff.
By the way, speaking of which, quite tragically and unexpectedly, Mark Costello, good time fellow from the Secret Stash, passed as well. And I want to tell everybody right now, if you are listening to the sound of my voice, his family was not expecting this. They weren't prepared for it, and they are hurting. So the guys at Tell 'em Steve Dave have put together a special episode that you can go out there. Yes, it is a pay-for-play episode, but the proceeds from it benefit Mark Costello's family. So if you're a fan of Tell 'em Steve Dave and you haven't hunkered down for that, please do and spread the words. Tell your friends as well, because
Yes.
this one hit close to home and a lot of people shocked and sad, and a family needs help. So
Yeah, and I'm tweeting it out right now. It's Tell 'em Steve Dave 289, available on tellemstevedave.bandcamp.com.
there you go. So that's it. Until next time, folks. My name is Will.
I'm Trent.
And you've been listening to another episode of NetHeads, unfunny and free always. We're at Trent.
Well, it's smodcast.com.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker signing off.
I know, right? But stop being a little Nancy and deal with it.
NetHeads. We'll be back soon.
Goodbye.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.
You know, the real question is, where did that whistle come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you just sometimes find yourself out in the real world doing that?
All the time.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. By the way, you know, one thing we didn't mention too about Kevin's episode of The Flash, not that anyone hasn't watched it, probably listens to us.
Jay's cameo?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually like the way it happened too, because in his cameo comes in, he says, like, this Big Belly burger sucks. The one in Starling City is so much
It's
better.
so much better.
Because he is a massive fan of Arrow.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah. In fact, yeah. He was the one that got that. He is the wiki for Kevin.
Yeah,
when it comes to this whole universe.
Who's this? Who that? Who's this? What they do? The other thing I love about his cameo actually is we got to see it played out as well. They also made him as a metahuman that shows up in the end of the episode.
Yes.
And if you've seen the picture where it's Kevin, Jason, and Zoom, who's the villain from this season, you're able to make out who he is in the scene. But he's also got this gigantic, ridiculous sword. So he's near the back. If you're looking at the crowd scene, he's near the back to the left.
Yeah.
And he's just, I can only imagine just how ecstatic he was at that. Because, I mean, can you imagine being able to just be in this gigantic crowd scene and you're just chanting and being a villain, but you don't have to worry about anything else beyond that?
Like, yeah, exactly. You're just like, this is going to be fun. We're going to make pretend for a little while.
Yeah, it's like being a day player pretty much.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Yeah, it's like getting that call from Central Casting, but it's actually not Central Casting.
No, it's Starling City Casting.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Central City Casting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know,
True.
sometimes we like to go out on a laugh, but today, that ain't it.